feel really jittery. I haven't filmed a video in so long that I'm like, well, you know? Anyway, hello there, my name is Niamh and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. I am filming my March book wrap-up, book review, everything I read in March, that video. It's a little bit into April. It is the 9th of April. Yeah, it's the 9th of April, so I'm a little bit delayed in filming this, but I have been all over the place with YouTube at the moment, so apologies, but yeah, we'll get back on track eventually. Yeah, let me even find what books I read in March. Here we go. I only read 4 books. I mean, I normally only read 5, so like it's not that big of a difference, but one book just took me a very long time to read, and I will talk about that obviously when I get to it. Let's get going. Here are the books that I read in March. So the first 2 are actually by the same author. First book I read was The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. I feel like I finished this book so long ago. I loved it. I have loved, I think I've read all of the books she's written and has published, and I have loved them all. There's not one that I've been like, wasn't the great. Like, all of them have been fantastic. And The Cousins, yes, so good. So many twists and turns. Like, I feel all her books do, but yeah, it was just so fantastic. And like, it's quite I find it was quite a light read while still being like really intriguing and interesting, and you know, it kind of grips you the whole way through, but it's not difficult to read, if you get what I mean. Like, it's very, very easy. Really, really good. Again, just nice, easy. You'd fly through her books, I feel, because they are quite an easy read, but 2, like, they're just so, you're just like, oh my god, I have to figure out like what is going on. So yeah, this book was really, really good, and there were definitely some things that like I did not see coming, you know, like that I was like, oh my, I was just completely blindsided by some things. So yeah, fantastic read. The Cousins, Karen M. McManus. Give it a go. Book number 2, also as I said, by Karen M. McManus, and it was Two Can Keep a Secret. This, oh my god, this book was amazing. I read it in 2 days, flew through it. I want to say it's my favorite book that I've read of hers. I have loved them all, as I said earlier, but this one, oh my god, so good. So good. There was like, so like, you know, that's, yeah. Honestly, that's what I thought about. Speechless. Again, an easy read. Her books are just very simple to kind of read. Like, I'm not saying that like the books are simple and like, you know, but like they're just, it flows all together so easily, and you can just really like fly through chapters in no amount of time, I feel. But this book, oh, was so engaging. You just had to keep going, because from the start you're like, right, we gotta find out what the hell happened here, like, you know. Oh, it was amazing. I loved it. Definitely one of my favorites of hers. I think I'd probably go back and read it again, maybe, mainly just to see, can I like notice anything, you know, that kind of way. Because like when you're reading it first, like for me anyway, sometimes I'm not that great at picking up tells, so I'd like to go back and read it knowing kind of what happens and see could I have actually figured it out in any way. Do you get what I mean? Karen M. McManus, fantastic author, fantastic author if you kind of read it. Like, it's kind of like a young adult genre, I feel, and always like someone's always dead in them and it's like trying to kind of figure out stuff like that, or like there's always like an underlying thing going on from the start, and you kind of like, all her books are similar but very different at the same time, you know. Anyway, I've loved absolutely every single one of them I've read, so give at least one of them a go, because you'll love it. You will. You better. The next book, and this was the book that took me forever to read. It was Nothing to Envy by Barbara Demick. Now, I actually heard about this book through a YouTuber, Natalie Barbu. She mentioned in one of her vlogs, and I was like, do you know what? Sounds like something I would never read. So I was like, let's give it a go. It's about North Korea and kind of following people who have defected from it, but like looking at their lives in North Korea and then a little bit on their life afterwards. I thought it was good overall. It's interesting, but it was a bit tough. I was expecting it to be very much like about how they defected. Well, obviously, yeah, that was part of it, but there was a lot of backstory to it and like history on North Korea and all that, which, I mean, if you're interested in that, yeah, that's great, and it was interesting to read about it, but I'm not majorly interested in like history and stuff like that, so I found those bits a little bit tough. I thought the second half of the book was better because that was kind of when people were starting to leave and it got a bit more like kind of like, ooh, I really want to know what's figuring out. So I thought the first half was a little bit slower, and that is why it took me quite a long time to read, because the chapters too, personally for me, were quite long. They're all like, I read this one on my Kindle and it tells you the amount of time that it generally takes to read a chapter, and it was all like half an hour or so, and for me that is very long. I like chapters that you can get, you know, through a couple in 5-10 minutes or something like that. So I kind of was reading this like one chapter at a night, and that's why it took me so long to get through. But yeah, overall it was very interesting. I think North Korea as a country is very interesting, so if it's something you think you might like, definitely give it a go. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, you gotta read this. You know, it was overall it was pretty good, just not quite what I was expecting, but still interesting. And oh yes, the last book I read then in April was They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I saw this all over Instagram in like the few weeks before I read it. I just kept seeing it everywhere. You know, the title is They Both Die at the End, and it's like, do they? Is that like, is it clickbait? Like, do they actually die? Like, or is it just kind of like, I don't know, will you kind of figure out why they won't die or something? You know, I was just always very intrigued by the title, and because I saw it all over the place on Instagram, I just wanted to give it a go myself, because when you hear so much about, well, I didn't even hear much about it, but I just saw it on like lots of people's stories, or like I follow a few Instagram pages that do like book reviews, and they all kind of, I don't read too many book reviews because I like just kind of going into a book and seeing from there, but I'd seen that a lot of people were reading it, so I said I would give it a go, and I loved it. Oh my god, I loved it. I can see my neighbor. I wonder, can he see me? Their back garden goes like up quite a bit, like ours is flat, but they have like a big ass garden. And anyway, this book, yeah, I loved it, and you know what, it was such an easy read, and compared to Nothing to Envy, the previous book, the chapters in this one were quite short, which was nice. It's just a nice break from the really long chapters. I found I was quite grasped by the characters from the start, and just the way they're written, really good. A couple of words that I wrote, I was like, it's intriguing, gripping, sad, overall amazing. It is kind of heartbreaking, seems very like dramatic, but it was kind of like, you know, tugging at the heartstrings, let's say. I just found myself really rooting for the two main characters. I don't know, it was just really nice. It was very different to anything I've read, I feel. No, did I make it up in my head that there's going to be a second one? Or is he just bringing out another book this year or something? I don't know. And it does kind of make you think a little bit about life and how you live your life day to day, if you get me. It was so good, so lovely. Yeah, would highly recommend that book. I really enjoyed it. That was everything. That was the books for March. As I said, Nothing to Envy took me a little bit of time. I think I would have read a bit more had that book not taken me a while. Let me know if you read any of these books as well. Let me know what you thought, and if you have any recommendations for me, leave them in the comments down below, because I'm always looking for new books to read. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to be back to my normal scheduling with videos. I've just been a disaster of a human lately, so yeah, you know, it's fine. If you did like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, because there will be more videos coming, I hope, and I will get back to normal. I will get back to normal with it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you hopefully on Friday with another vlog. I don't know, I'm all over the place at the moment, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.